Outgoing Chairperson of the ANC, Baleka Mbete, has laughed off the narrative that as National Assembly Speaker, she's protected President Zuma in Parliament. The current Speaker of Parliament also said one situation she wishes would have played out differently is the strained handover of leadership following the Polokwane Conference that led to the recalling of President Thabo Mbeki.
I think the criticism has also, though, been that does that level of holding people to account and calling people out go all the way to the top, up to the president's level? Because some people have argued that it would seem as though that the current NEC and the ANC's top officials are more focused on protecting President Jacob Zuma instead of protecting the legacy of the party, which has had a knock because of President Zuma's tenure as president of the ANC and president of the country.
We have said, as the National Executive Committee of the ANC, and also as the officials of the ANC, it does not matter who it is concerning. Wrong is wrong. And therefore, for us, if it can just be told to us what it is that is wrong, that we must react to, we have no hesitation in ensuring that the right thing is done. But it cannot be said that just because 1,000 people are screaming or are marching, are demonstrating, then it seems that that is wrong. We can't do it that way. So we always say we have created institutions. Those institutions have their own way of working, and people must take issues to those institutions and prove the wrong, and less than all of us fall in line in saying the law must be respected.
Those institutions include one of the institutions that you chair, that is the National Assembly. Yes. And the Constitutional Court has found against the National Assembly in saying that the National Assembly has failed to hold the executive to account. So is it not true then that even the National Assembly is then failing to live up to the ideals of what the ANC says, that all its members must be held to account?
If you remember, the National Assembly is not one party. It is not a grouping that comes from one province or one corner. It is the collective of the various members of parliament that have been brought into that plenary hall by different interest groups and parties coming from all over the country. And therefore, we have agreed to work according to certain rules of the institution. We have structures through which we do the things that we do. And that's all we have done. The Constitutional Court has since found the way you are quoting. The House has had to then find a structure that will pursue those issues and see what it is that we could have done differently. The truth is, we formed the structure that is appropriate for purposes of looking at the matters that were before us, and we pursued those issues. Yes, at a political level, other things happened, and what happened is that political parties that are opposed to the positions of the majority party, of course, walked out, and that then complicated the space, and the rest is history as we know it. So we are not respecting what the court has said, but I'm saying to you, we also have institutions, we have rules, we have structures, we've got ways of doing things, and those ways have come out with what we did because we formed the ad hoc committees and they found the way they found.
What do you say to someone who says that Baleka Mbete, as the chairperson of Parliament, has been preoccupied with protecting President Jacob Zuma?
I would say they are very wrong. That's all really I would say. Because trying to crack my head, as I have asked you all in a public forum, in a press briefing, what exactly is this that is protecting the president? Because there's nothing from the chair that I or any other presiding officer has done that we would not have done had Mmusi Maimane been the president. and had he been faced with the same set of circumstances. So they are very wrong. They are just not getting it, I think.
Let me ask you about politically within the ANC. Why has it been so difficult for the party to recall the president? There's at least been 3 attempts within the NEC to recall President Zuma. Of course, those have failed. Why has it been so difficult?
Because clearly that's a view that does not have the support of the overwhelming majority in the ANC, most definitely in the National Executive Committee.
Mm-hmm. Is it fair, though? And I'm asking this question in relation to what happened with former President Thabo Mbeki, that it seemed that it was almost easy in September to recall President Thabo Mbeki and more difficult to recall President Jacob Zuma. Why is it that it was so difficult to do this?
I think you must look at what the issues were. Mm-hmm. Why is it that in one set of circumstances something happened as opposed to the other? I don't think that you should generalize and say because it happened with one member of the ANC or one leader, it necessarily should be expected to just happen with the other. I think you need to look at the detail and look at what were the set of circumstances, the relations, the interactions, in fact, from the Polokwane Conference onwards. What had been happening that precipitated what then resulted in a recall.
In hindsight, do you still think that it was the right decision that the party took to recall Thabo Mbeki?
I think it was a sad decision. It was a very sad decision that we all participated in moving towards. But it had to happen because of what had preceded that meeting where the NEC ended up in that decision.